Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking all about Dave Bautista's Clown Fiesta of a challenge. It is a frustrating time on Chapter 4. I had a bit of a ball ache on this chapter, and I know quite a few other people did. I saw some people actually that managed to breeze through it in quite a nice time, but a lot of the streams and videos that I watched, people got wrecked by pretty much the same opponent. Like, I think there's only one enemy in Chapter 4 that for most people, providing you're familiar with the animations and stuff, is the real ball ache of the chapter, the real, like, pain in the ass, and that is Rocket Raccoon. If you watch yesterday's stream, like, I got so tilted, I got so salty, I was so furious at this fight. It didn't make for a good time. I was not in a great mood yesterday evening. So anyway, let's talk about the final chapter, Chapter 4, because it's fairly similar to Chapter 3 in terms of the nodes, but Chapter 4 you have the global node Spite, you also have that in Chapter 3 as well. So basically, whenever you have a buff on you, and now this includes dexterity, so whenever you swipe back, then, you know, the opponent's going to get Spite and get a power flood, granting 18% of their power every second. So that allows them to get to their special free pretty damn quickly. So that is the very annoying thing, coupled with Rocket Raccoon's node, which basically doubles his power gain, increases all power gains by 100%, just makes him like such a pain in the ass. Like, he's so annoying, so annoying. I think he's definitely doable if you have the right amount of skill. If you get lucky with a magic is by far the absolute MVP of this challenge. If there's one character that you want to entirely focus on, it's probably magic to go for. But there are some alternate strategies. I'm seeing people remove dexterity. That's what we did. We had to alter our mastery setup to remove dexterity, which again does cause a few problems potentially when fighting opponents like Ronan or any of the other enemies. If you're a little bit too close to them when you know they fire off their specials, you're not going to be evading when you dash back, so you can get much more easily clipped by those special attacks. So yeah, it's a bit of a lose-lose situation there, but it's a way to counter Spite is to remove dexterity. But again, kind of redoing your mastery setup for something like this is a little bit of a ball ache. As a node, I'm really not a huge fan of Spite. I think Spite would be okay, it would be a little bit more manageable under two circumstances, and the first of those circumstances would be that the level 3 is not active on the opponent. So I wouldn't mind Spite if they could just bombard you with like level 2s or level 1s, and you didn't have to worry about the special 3. But when the special 3 is active, especially against such stacked opponents, you have so many scenarios where they will just go to their special 3 and wreck you, and this pretty much will happen to like everyone. It's going to count you out in a few fights, especially going through Chapter 4. It's a massive ball ache. I really despise this node. And the second scenario, where I guess it would be kind of okay, is if it didn't trigger off dexterity. Like, maybe we wouldn't mind it so much then, because you could just play like any character that didn't have buffs, and that would be a way to deal around it. But you know, when you have dexterity and you kind of, you know, you're used to relying on skill to evade certain mechanics, and when you can't do that, it's a bit of a pain. Like, you're just getting punished for having that mastery, which isn't super great. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Spite node in general. But apart from that, just kind of covering the opponent. So this is the hardest path that you have to deal with in the entire challenge. So you have, first up, you have Gamora. Gamora is pretty easy. I do advocate trying to bait the special 1 as much as possible. I find the special 2 on Gamora so ridiculously fast. Sometimes I can avoid it, but sometimes it clips me. It wrecked me. I believe it only wrecked me once on last night's stream, so that wasn't too bad. But the special 1 on Gamora, if you can play fairly slowly, if you can evade that one, that's pretty easy to do. On Ronan, the special 1 is probably the easiest one to avoid if you don't have the dexterity mastery. You want to make sure that you are like halfway across the map when you're trying to bait that. It's a little bit tricky to do. We did get clipped to it a couple of times because we didn't have dexterity, but if you have dexterity active, it's really easy to deal with. The same with the special 2 there. Then you have Groot. If you use a magic or Dr. Voodoo on Groot, you're gonna have such an easy time. Just try to bait the special 1 as much as you can, and then yeah, just slam down the special 1 on Voodoo to convert the debuffs, or the special 3 on magic Magic, but I think Magic really is an MVP for this chapter, so she's really, really good for Groot as well. Star-Lord, he doesn't have anything too interesting, just has a little bit more armor and also a combo shield, which again doesn't really matter at all. So with Star-Lord, again, Voodoo is a pretty great option for Star-Lord, but you can use any character providing you just bait the special 1. If you've got Dexterity active, you can bait and evade the special 2, so that ain't too bad. And on Rocket Raccoon is a massive pain in the ass to deal with, but just try as much as you can to bait the special 1. That's the best tactic I found. I found turning off Dexterity and baiting the special 1 to work best for me, but I think if you are lucky enough, if you play aggressively enough, if you can bait specials like aggressively enough, then you can maybe get into this scenario with a Magic where you can keep Dexterity on, you can keep power locking the opponent with your special 2, but again, that is subject to the variance of maybe not getting Magic special 2 power lock proccing, but yeah, it ain't too bad. But one of the things that you're going to have to do with Dave Bautista's challenge is you need to either do like a completion run, so if you're just going to complete the event, which you get, you know, kind of the initial rewards from that, just do the first path and then port straight to Drax. Aside from that, if you want to do it now, you need to, there was a bug initially that let you port to like any platform, but now that's been changed, and I understand for so many people, like that's a really, really huge ball ache, because they just did it very suddenly, there was an announcement. I think the way that they handled the whole situation was pretty poor. They should have said, okay guys, like we messed up, there was this bug where you could port anywhere, because a lot of people, you know, they were doing the first path, they were doing like a challenging path, and then they were resetting, so that they could like minimize the amount they spent on team revives and stuff. But yeah, it's a bit of a ball ache now that you have to go at it and do it like in a single run. But again, it's just they're sending out like a package. If you got into this quest and started to do it, you get a package of like 5 team revives. And what exactly is the package? It's like 5 team revives, 5 team health potions. So it pretty much makes up for a lot of the revives spent. But I understand for a lot of people it's just a huge ball ache. It's not quite enough. And I think in Kabam's situation, they should have handled it a little bit better. They should have said, okay guys, like there's this bug. We understand like some of you are midway through it, so we're going to give you like a 24-hour time period to finish it up. But after then, we're going to go back to this way. So I think that's maybe what they should have done. But, you know, I don't think there was an ideal situation for that. But, yeah, that's pretty much kind of some of the advice for this chapter. The final Drax, again, is pretty easy. He doesn't have too much going on for him. Just bait the special 1, the special 2. Like, Drax is a very, very easy opponent to fight. So you don't need to worry about too much for that. You've just got kind of the Rocket Raccoon. Like, he's the boss, the ball ache of this this challenge. Anyway, let's go back to some of the rewards and talk about something I noticed as well. So one of the pro tips as well from all the chest in the final chapter contain 4-star shards, and a full run in this chapter will give you 140 4-star shards, right? But a run in the third chapter, round 3, is significantly easier in terms of time and also difficulty. So if you do a full run in this chapter, you again will have what is it, 5 chests that you can pick up? Yeah, 5 chests. And a total amount of shards of 81 shards. So 25 runs of this map will get you a fully formed 4-star. Now that's going to be about 750 units if you wanted to use it on energy refills. It's probably not the best option. It's not something I advocate doing. I think maybe Arena is probably a much better investment of your time and resource there. But it's an option, you know, if you want to infinitely farm 4-star characters for this for a slightly cheaper price than actually buying them, that is a potential option there, so it's something to do. But again, it's not something that I advocate or I think is a particularly efficient strategy, but it's a way that you can infinitely farm 4 stars if you wanted to. Anyway, now let's get to the juicy part. We're going to go ahead and open the Awakening Gem and also the Tier 4 class Catalyst Crystal. I also have a second one from Alliance Quest. So from the Awakening Gem, I think we're hoping to see a Cosmic one. That would be pretty good. I've got a Mystic one, I've got a Mutant one, another Science one wouldn't be too bad. I think pretty much any class, apart from maybe Tech, is what we're after. I don't think we have too much of a use for a Tech one. But skill will do. Like, I'm not entirely sure what champion. If we get a 4-star Gwenpool, we can awaken her with a skill gem. I think that's what we'll go for on that one. But yeah, I don't really have too much immediate use for a skill gem there, so it's not super great, but it'll do. So for the tier 4 class Catalyst Crystal, anything but Science and Cosmic, like absolutely anything would do. Ideally, I think Mystic is by far the #1 tier 4 class Catalyst that we're looking for. So let's go ahead, let's open a couple of these Mystics and see what we get. So we got the first, sorry, a couple of these Mystics, a couple of these tier 4 class Catalyst Crystals, which are hopefully Mystic. Hey! Guys, I'm not saying I just rigged that crystal, but I'm pretty sure I did via voice command there. So that was pretty good. We got one Mystic one, so that is amazing. If we can get a second Mystic one, that'd be so good. Because, yeah, we got so many characters that we want to take up to 550 as Mystic characters. So let's see another Mystic come around. Oh! No, it's a tech one. We don't really have a use for a tech one, actually. But we'll find something. Yeah, okay, 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2. Maybe tech isn't the one that I need there, but that ain't too bad, guys. At least we got a Mystic 1 out of the 2 there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it for the crystal opening today. We've been saving up some Alliance Quest crystals. Going to do a big kind of 4-week opening for those soon. Once we finish this round of Alliance Quest, so got some exciting stuff there. So for Dave Bautista's challenge, overall, the rewards, they're pretty insane. They're pretty damn good for kind of the time invested, and kind of even with the changes, like there is a lot of stuff still on offer. Let's just have another quick overview of all the stuff there. So yeah, you get a ton of 5-star shards, a ton of 5-star generic signature stones. Actually, this is something we should do before we end the video, is I want to pump these into my 5-star voodoo. But I want to see, like, per signature stone, how much effectiveness we're getting. So we're on level 14 at the moment, and it's got 84.61%. So let's use a single signature stone. If we get a 1% increase from one signature stone, that'd be great. So that's upped it to 85.3%. That was pretty much like 0.9%, almost that. It seems pretty good so far. I'm pretty sure Voodoo's the champion that we're going to be using like all of these on. Let's up that again. So it was 85, and now we're up to... yeah, that's about like 0.6 and a bit percent. That's not too bad. Let's take him all the way up to dupe level 20, see where he's at. Right, so 88.35%. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use the rest of my generics on him, but we're going to have to see. I need to do a little bit more calculating there, but Voodoo is now up to signature level 20. We got a pretty decent benefit from the 6 stones already used, but I think we'll probably take them up a little bit more from there onward. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Dave Bautista's Cosmic Challenge. We're going to try and do a video fairly shortly where we do like a 3-star run in the final map just for completion, because that's one of the things that I want to kind of advocate to all of you that may be thinking of pushing for this challenge, is if you can't 100% it, at least try and go for the completion in the final chapter, because just doing the easiest lane and then porting to the final Drax boss is going to get you those completion rewards, which again are really, really decent if you can pick them up. So yeah, hopefully we can do a 3-star challenge for that. That'd be pretty sweet. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like on the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.